Hi,
Hi guys. Hi, I'm Tash.
I'm Adam.
For those of you that don't know us, we are Team InvincAble, says it at the bottom of the screen there. And today we are here to talk to you about
Why male and female collaboration is key to success.
So let us tell you a little bit more about ourselves. Aha, it's working. Yay. Sorry, we've had some technical issues already this evening. As we just said, we're Team InvincAble. We run an organisation called InvincAble. We have set it up, Adam and I, as a way to empower people to go out and live a life they want. We do everything from motivational speaking, resilience training, passion and purpose training. And we also do inclusion and diversity training and talk to people about what it's like to live with a disability. You won't be able to see right now, but we are both wheelchair users and have our very unique stories to tell and share them as a way to I guess help other people with disabilities, but also try and make some change in the world. And this little dude here with Adam,
that is my boy Fletcher.
That is Adam's boy Fletcher, who he never forgets the name of as he has it tattooed on his arm. Okay, can you see?
I also have his date of birth there, which is, for all you dads out there or potential dads out there, is a very wise thing to do.
It is, because every time you get asked, you're looking. Oh yeah, that's what it was. I'm just going to get you in the middle of the frame. There you go. Okay, so let's get on to the topic at hand. We felt with International Women's Day that it was important to do something just a little bit different. Obviously, International Women's Day this year is on the 8th of March. Is it that day every year? I think so.
I believe so,
yes, yeah. So, and obviously there's a lot of content out there that is about empowering women and being feminine and fierce and strong and helping in the feminist cause. And of course that is it's extremely important. Equality is what we all want. However, sometimes you find that this content can push men out of the conversation. And to be honest, if equality is what we want, then both sexes need to be part of the conversation. So Adam and I work as a fantastic team, and we feel that it is a lot to do with the fact that we are obviously male and female, and we both bring our own unique strengths to the table. So we want to talk a little bit about that today, how collaboration of both sexes, both having a seat at the table and both having your voices heard is really a key factor in success of any type, in all parts of your life, regardless of whether that's work, whether of course that's your home relationships, whether that's your friendships, or anything else in your life, sport, business, whatever. It's imperative and it's very, very key. So collaboration for us looks a lot like what you are seeing on screen.
Yeah, so collaboration for us comes in quite a few different forms.
Yeah, we get on each other's nerves 24/7, I think.
I don't get on. You don't get on.
Oh,
okay.
I do.
Maybe occasionally. So for Tash and I, as I said, collaboration comes in quite a few different forms. So Tash is a wheelchair racer.
I am, or I claim to be.
Wheelchair marathon racer.
Yes.
And I'm actually Tash's coach. So I used to race many moons ago, and I'm a qualified personal trainer as well. So I coach Tash as a wheelchair racer. So we have that.
This top left photograph here.
We have that collaboration.
Yes. Obviously, there is our business collaboration down here on the bottom left-hand side. So we have been working together for
3 years or so. Yeah,
about 3 years. Initially, just as coach and athlete, but now also as business partners and I guess best friends. We work together on every possible level, and I guess that collaboration has led to some pretty huge things for the two of us. And once again, we'll talk about this as we go further into the webinar, but yeah, it's been a spark that has allowed us to achieve some pretty huge things that I don't think we would necessarily have achieved had it not been for the fact that we are both very, very similar in a lot of ways, but also very, very individual.
We each bring something to the table. We have different skills.
We do.
Different skill sets and different experiences, and yeah, I reckon, you know, we both bring our own skill sets to make a pretty formidable team, I would say.
I like that. We're formidable. I can't even say it. As you'll see there, also next door to that picture, we're a little bit crazy. You know, collaboration doesn't always have to necessarily mean serious. It can mean fun, and you have to be willing to collaborate on all levels. And fun is definitely part of that. And I think that fun definitely makes for success when it comes to us.
Yeah, it keeps things lighthearted when things necessarily might not be lighthearted normally.
We deal with some very difficult subject matters. We you know, especially with our resilience training, we are dealing with people that are often really suffering, and having that ability to show people joy even when you're experiencing challenges, having that ability to still have fun regardless of what is going on in your life is extremely important. And that is something that as a team we collaborate on in many ways, especially when we're talking. I think when we're up on stage doing our little talks, we have a tendency to take the piss out of each other.
Yeah, we pick on each other.
We do that very well, but it works well because I guess the fact that we are different genders actually makes that work brilliantly.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So I guess this picture here on the right as well also shows us having fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Collaborating on
it shows you beating me up is what it shows.
Well, yes. But, you know, you deserved it. Always deserve it. So top right-hand corner here is us at Rotary.
Yeah, so we, as part of our business, and I've had a really long association with Rotary here, and we, Tash and I, made the decision that it would be a great thing to do for our business. So we created a collaboration with Rotary through our business and of course what Rotary do.
So I guess a big thing of what we're trying to do is to help others to make a tangible impact on the world in a good way, in a positive way, and being part of Rotary has allowed us to be able to do that. Team collaboration has meant that we have been able to influence in different ways, different parts of the organisation, and bring those skills that we bring as a partnership to the members of Rotary and make a difference in ways such as I'm trying to make a difference with gender diversity in that organisation, because traditionally they've been very, very male dominant. They've been a very male dominated organisation, and it's important for the continuation of an organisation like that to have more gender diversity, and we have been able to influence that together by people seeing what a great team we are. It's made a difference for a lot.
Yeah, 100%. They do some projects that are very, very close to our heart in as far as our own what we do. So we've been able to collaborate with them and help them push their projects in the right way and get involved in that.
Exactly, because they're an incredible organisation, and especially what they're doing with the Wheelchair Trust, giving wheelchairs that they've made out of old BMX bikes to people in poorer countries that wouldn't be able to access wheelchairs. For example, our chairs are around about $10,000 each. Now, most people are very, very shocked when they hear that, but that's the kind of price that you would need to pay as a wheelchair user who is permanently in a wheelchair, just for a standard manual wheelchair. So as you can imagine, overseas in poorer countries, that's just not not an option for those guys. So having the opportunity to really change their lives by giving them materials, by giving them something like a wheelchair, which will allow them to get mobility, which we so often take for granted. Even us as wheelchair users, whilst we're immobile in some ways, at least we have our chairs as our vessels for independence. They don't have that, and you hear stories of people, having to crawl around on their hands or drag themselves around, the most awful, horrendous conditions. Having that opportunity is something that's been huge for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So at the top here, this is Adam and I an awards ceremony. It's oh, whoops, let me go back. I guess once again, we've had so many opportunities with our business that has come as a result of us being able to work together as a team, and obviously having our unique strengths. And I think that we just wouldn't have these opportunities if it wasn't for the fact that we are a male and female partnership. There's so many things that I think you see that I don't, and I see that you don't.
100%.
And because we listen to each other, and
mostly.
I mean,
I listen to you.
Yeah, I don't always listen to you, but is that a female thing? Yeah. But anyway, yes. So once again, yeah. So we've had those opportunities, and this top, left, middle, and bottom, right, middle. It's just
the back-to-back photo.
It's these two photos, the back-to-back photo and the one here with me with a glass of alcohol in my hand. It is us doing what we do best, working as a team, showing the world who we are as a team, as a partnership, not just as single people. This is us bringing our uniqueness as a team together to show the world. 100%. So next one, and this is where our collaboration leads or has led us. So we've had some incredible opportunities. It has led us to obviously the business InvincAble that we've already spoken to you guys about. We feel like we're making such an incredible impact with InvincAble, and that's where collaboration is leading us. Being able to show at business expos, being able to talk at major events, being able to touch individuals that we may not ever, that sounds really bad. I didn't mean physically touch. That would be weird.
The hearts and minds.
Touch the hearts and minds of individuals that we may not have been able to before. Being able to
give us a greater reach.
Yeah, exactly. That is the kind of reach that we wouldn't be able to do if it was just you and I singly. Obviously at the top here, we get to take part in interviews, in podcasts, in media that because we bounce off each other so well, I don't think that we would have been able to do that had the circumstances been different. It works because we're so different, but
we're both
so the same at the same time.
We bounce off each other, and it's an atmosphere. The fact that we take the piss out of each other constantly, I think, just adds to it. Very much so, yes.
So, I mean, our collaboration has also led to us both obviously building our speaking careers. We have Adam here speaking at the Speakers Institute back in June. Yes,
back
June.
in Sydney.
I myself am a wheelchair racer, and this was me winning a bronze medal at the Australian athletics national championships last year, the 400 meters, and that is a huge result of us working together to achieve goals that we've set. Mm-hmm. You know, as my coach, he may be my business partner, but he's also my coach, and as my coach, he has he's given me the skills I need to be able to achieve what I want in life. And one of my major goals is to be able to compete on the international stage, which I'm currently working towards and have, you know, classified for last year. So first international track competition, those Oceanic Games coming up. So, you know, we're getting there, and our relationship allows us to do that. Obviously, we have our courses, our workbooks, and all the things we've been working towards. We have Adam's course, Wi-Fi, at the top, and my course, Live InvincAble, at the bottom right-hand side there. These are courses and programs and events that we've managed to build as a result of the unique perspectives we have.
Each of us have.
Yeah, and which are, although we've been through very, very similar things and our challenges are very, very similar, we both have very, very different points of view on them. And although we are both very, very positive and both very upbeat and understanding of what we've been through, at the same time, I think the way that we have dealt with them and the way that we have perceived them in order to get to the point we're at is like the steps we've taken are very, very different. And then, of course, in the middle here, that is our YouTube channel. So guys, if anybody's interested in the YouTube channel, go and take a look at it, because
subscribe,
because yes, you know, we talk about all sorts of things, but these are the things that we're able to do in our life because of the collaboration we've had, because of us being a team and working together jointly in order to try and make some change in the world. Okay, let's get into a little bit of content outside what probably just seems like a lot of personal story at the moment. So just going to try and move this somewhere so we can actually see if that's better. Yeah, cool.
So female versus male, why the gender differences matter. So women tend to be relational, care about a team, inclusive, questioning, be present, listeners, have risk awareness, plenty of risk awareness, think long-term, explore and communicate concerns. Men, on the other hand, tend to be bold, confident, decisive, not scared to take risks, think short-term, work quickly and intuitively. And we were just having this conversation before. For us, a lot of these are very ring true for both of us, but in our relationship, you are definitely more, when it comes to the business stuff, you are definitely more the risk taker than I am.
Definitely. I think I'm more of a risk taker in general.
Yeah, I have a high self-preservation.
Whereas with me, if I see something, I'm just like, yeah, going to do it. It's funny though, I say that I'm a risk taker. I'll try anything if I think that there is something to be gained from trying to do something by taking a risk, I'll give it a go. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But in the same vein, I'm also very, very much an overthinker, and I'm very, very analytical, and tends to lead to procrastination because, or just very much indecisiveness because I'm just thinking through so much and so much going on in my little head. But I definitely agree with so many of these other points. I think women on a whole tend to be deeper communicators. Like, you are a big talker. You can talk behind legs off a dog.
I can,
you
yes.
can.
And I will.
Yeah.
Give me the chance.
Yes, and he's a fantastic communicator, and people really, really warm to him because of it. But at the same time, it's a different form of communication to the deep level that you often get between women. So because of that, we both bring very, very different things to the table. Like, I'm a good communicator, but I'm very, probably a little bit too deep for my own good. I'm always over analyzing things, and you know, but at the same time, it kind of draws out the conversation. So
Yeah.
that there's a middle ground, and that's why those gender differences really, really matter, because when you're both working together, it's going to bring together a much stronger team, because you're going to be meeting and giving yourself to the wider world on a more level playing field. You're speaking to both sides of the conversation, both sides of the table.
We have times when, you know, Tash is being quite analytical and thinking about things, and, you know, we're going through the motions of, you know, figuring how we should do things and what we should do. And I'm always, you know, I like to think that I always listen to those things and we work through those things.
Yeah.
But on the flip side to that, I'm also will be the person that go, okay, well, we know that this is the way we should go with it, and then I'll try and push us back in the
yes 100%
back onto the track.
100. Athletics track or just on track?
Whatever track.
Yeah,
dirt track. No.
So collaboration, gender collaboration improves the way that teams interact overall. It's all about communication. It's all about making things more I can't think of the word I was looking for, but anyway, let's go to some of the points, because it will hopefully come to me in just a second.
So with gender collaboration, it absolutely promotes innovation. It's widely known that men and women, I can't speak to my
men and women are very different.
And as we said, everyone brings their own thing to the table. So that is an awesome way to create and foster innovation.
It is. So because of the different ways that men and women think, there are going to be more ideas brought to the table, and also more ways of analysing and thinking about those ideas when they are brought to the table. So that is going to foster the kind of innovation that you would not get on a single gendered workspace.
More ideas will come to fruition because of the group's ability to think of ideas and figure out ways of, because of the makeup of that group, figure out ways of making those ideas happen rather than them potentially being scrapped and binned.
Or you know, or not being scrapped and being a mistake, because that's the other thing. If there's not checks and balances, and that's the thing about male and female teams, is it does actually make for more checks and balances, because you will have that one part of the team that will be more likely to be analytical and pick up on any potential problems. You'll have another part of the team that wants to push forward and get things done. And by coming together, it can actually mean that both sides are more motivated and achieve more in the long run.
And things still happen. Absolutely. There's more process in making sure it happens, and it's done for the right reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
So efficient processes.
So I guess, once again, because men and women often see the world in very, very different ways, each side is able to bring their strengths to whatever the work processes or life processes, or you know, or whatever that is in general. So whereas a man may see that, or you know, or a female even that's has a more male way of thinking, would only see maybe 2 or 3 steps in the process. That's great because it's quick. But in the same vein, another person who probably has a different level of thinking and can see things in a very, very different way will see that there needs to be little mini steps to get to the main step. So having that understanding from both sides of the party means that the efficiency will be greater, because there won't be the mistakes being made along the way. And men will try and keep things streamlined, whereas women are more likely to introduce those little steps that will help the process overall.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have increased success as well, and that speaks to the innovation we were talking about before. So obviously with the new innovation and the as a group and the success of and generation of more innovation, that increases this overall success.
So we have to point out here that a lot of these things that we're talking about, you know, men are this, women are that, it can go both ways. Like you can always have elements of both parts of you, regardless of gender. And this isn't about us enforcing stereotypes. This is just about how research has shown that women are more likely to be one way and men are more likely to be another, so that we can, I guess, prove to everyone why as a blended team you tend to work better. Yeah. Absolutely. And it's not always the case. It isn't always the case. There's always going to be the odd occasion where that doesn't work out as planned, but for the most part, in the majority of cases, it works well, so long as that there is that level of understanding of your differences. Yeah,
100%. And that's where we work extremely well as a team.
Yes.
You're very good at communicating how you feel and
is that a good thing?
yes it is. And and I'm learning, I am, and it's something I'm learning to be more vocal about my opinions.
Because I keep telling you should.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I haven't been very good at that in the past. And that leads to us both having fulfillment in what we're doing and how we're doing it, and both feeling great about what's being created.
The different ways that men and women communicate mean that often a middle ground, so long as everybody's willing to listen to what the other side is saying, it means it's often easier to come to a middle ground, which people on the outside can relate to.
Yeah, absolutely. So more likely to reach goals.
And it's very, very similar as what I was saying when we were talking about efficient processes. If you have two team members that are working together and understand that there are different approaches for going at things, and can analyze and figure out the best way of going about it, they're more likely to reach their goals in a more efficient way. And I guess motivation for men and women can often come from very, very different places, and both bringing their different motivators to the table can lead to much higher outcomes.
Absolutely. And I'll speak to us and to our team as far as being more likely to reach goals. I'm very, very, anybody knows me, I'm very, very cruisy, and I'm like, yeah, it'll get done, we'll be good, and it'll be perfect, it'll all be great. And then Tash is like, oh, but we need to work this out, and we have to figure it out, this and have a plan and all that sort of stuff. Plan, So, but when and sometimes and we're both at times far on each of those ends. So because when we do get that way, we rein each other in.
I end up completely overwhelmed and full of anxiety and just really, really struggling. And you're probably one of the few people that can calm me down when I'm like that.
Relax.
Great impression of your son there.
Relax.
Fletcher has also taken on the very, very cruisy side of things.
Yes, he has.
But then in the same vein, I probably give you a bit of a kick up the arse sometimes.
You do, yeah, 100%, which I need. I mean, along with being cruisy, which I am, does take things take a bit of time to happen sometimes. So
they get done, but probably at the very, very last moment.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a story of my life. Yeah. So
anyway,
so capacity to problem solve.
We figure out our problems well, don't we?
Yeah, we do. You yell at me, and no, you don't.
I yell at you. You do as you're told.
That's
like every other female-male relationship in the world.
I'm, as I said before, I'm quite cruisy, and you are good at saying how you feel.
Oh my God, you're making me sound awful.
No, not at all. And that makes us. And once the conversation started, then it does take me. Granted, it does take me some time, but it makes it easy for us to find a middle ground on things. Yeah.
And finding a solution to problems is probably one of the most important reasons for having a blended team, for having a male-female collaboration, because once again, it's very, very hard for one side of the gender thing. That's such a good word. Thing is not always going to understand the needs and the problems and the issues of the other side. So having someone from both sides to explain to the other gender that this is what might be going on for them can certainly allow for better ways to solve things overall.
Absolutely. And everyone feels like they're being heard, and their feelings are being felt, and feelings are being felt.
Yes, needs are being met.
Needs are being met.
Yeah, feelings are being taken into consideration. Yeah. Okay, so what the research says.
So the research says.
I'm going to move this up
Good
here.
job. Yeah. Gender diverse teams make better decisions 73% of the time. I wonder what's going on the rest of the time, but that's just me.
Yeah, the 27%.
Yeah, the 27%. Yeah, maybe not so much. Yeah. Compared to 58% of the time for all male teams. A 2016 study from MIT found moving from single gender to blended workplaces increases productivity by 41%. In 2016, the Peterson Institute found significant underrepresentation of women in corporate boards and leadership roles, which it's a fairly
well-known fact, and it's very, very true, and it's a very, very sad case of society. I think so many corporations, so many large organizations are very, very male dominated, and certainly in their, in regards to their C-suite executives and their high level staff. And the problem with that is that it means that the needs of both sides of the party aren't always being met. And it's really important that you are speaking to your female as well as your male staff, your female as well as your male clients. And that isn't going to happen if there is not a equal number of both men and women working for you, equal number of men and women. Even in your friendships, you really want to be influenced by great people, but be influenced by both sexes, because the best things happen, like the best friendships that I know are between men and women.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And certainly with leadership, there's some fantastic female leaders out there, but unfortunately you find it's quite often more in a small business sense, because they've been forced to take their leadership into their own hands and work towards their own business rather than have somebody, excuse me, take a chance on them. And so much is being missed out on, so many important points of view and so many important experiences which can impact business in general, that can impact so many in general, because there are biases and assumptions on the capabilities of women, which takes us to our next slide. So we have a question to get you thinking. Hello, what happened there? Okay.
If one of your employees returns from maternity leave, is it biased to spare her the trouble of going on a business trip or take on extra responsibilities?
Yes or no, people? Yes or no? So for you guys watching on YouTube, you can answer this question in the comments.
We'll put a vote up on this one.
We will. And we just want to know what your thoughts are with regards to this.
Don't take too long to think about this one.
We want your quick fire answer on it, what your initial reaction is to it. So this speaks to something called unconscious bias, which is here.
Unconscious biases are learned stereotypes that are automatic, unintentional, deeply ingrained, universal, and able to influence behaviour.
There's unconscious bias in all areas of society, especially us as people with disabilities. We experience unconscious bias on a daily basis, and quite often as women we experience, or I as a woman experience this quite often too. But men, they experience unconscious bias as well. There is a very, very clearly defined ideal of what male and female roles are, and we would like to think that in 2022 that these definitions of perfect man, perfect woman don't exist, but sadly they do, because those biases are things that are formed when you are very, very young. When you're very, very young, and when you from influences of parents, grandparents, friends, family, teachers, anyone that you respect in life, but also from even younger than that, from the media that you're exposed to, the movies you're exposed to. So there's a lot of opinion still that it's the pretty little female who has her family, but also maybe this day and age goes out to work, but she has it all and still has this perfect life, and guess females are still seen as the fairer sex, whereas with men are seen as the strong go-getters, the ones that support the family. They're working too, but they don't have to take on the responsibilities of the family. And these are a lot of things that, and they're not forefront of people's minds, but they're back there. They're sat way back. So when you were answering this question, maybe your initial thought was to say, well, it wouldn't be fair for someone who's just been on maternity leave to then be lumped with a business trip or taken on extra responsibility. But that is making an assumption that it is the woman who would be staying home and looking after the kids. This day and age, that isn't the case. There are plenty of men that take on just as much, if not more, responsibility than women. And we have got to check our thinking when we're encountered by these kind of situations. I know I've been in places, for example, Adam and I often go out places together. How often have we been in a conversation where I've been completely blanked and you've been spoken to, even though I'm the one answering the question?
All the time.
And it's ridiculous. It is. I mean, you get the unconscious bias thing because people often speak to Christy above you because you're a wheelchair user, so they speak to you as if she's your carer. But it exists in all places of society, and it's not people meaning to be that way. It's not something you necessarily realize you're doing, but it's only once you have an understanding of it that you can actually stop it from preventing further issues for people. Both sides of the party here, guys, not just men, not just women. We all have those biases. There's a lot of female empowerment that's going on at the moment that perhaps does a little bit of man bashing, and that's not fair. That not every guy is a bad guy, not every girl is a Barbie doll. Do you know there are those stereotypes that exist in society that are very, very damaging, and I guess that's what we're trying to work, do something about. So this is the important one. How to work together as a team, be allies, all those cool things.
So work on ways to communicate with others in a more effective way. Develop self-regulation. So this is about thinking before you open your mouth, basically. limiting behaviours which diminish and disempower. Be open to the opinion of others. So, not shutting people down as soon as if they have different opinion to you. Actively listen if you don't understand their point of view.
So question and listen to what somebody's saying, but if you have a question about it because you don't understand it, don't automatically shut them down. Ask them questions so that you can understand their point of view better.
Yeah, and don't be dismissive. All views are valid.
Yeah, so just because you disagree with someone doesn't mean that their point of view isn't valid. At the end of the day, they're still feeling what they feel, and anybody's feelings and emotions are always valid.
So don't make assumptions, don't judge, work to everybody's strengths. And this is what we talk about as male and females, and everyone has their strengths and everyone has weaknesses. So be willing to listen to the feedback of others and act on it.
So, constructive feedback is really important. It's an important part of life, but it's only going to be productive and a good thing if you actually act on what you're being told. So if you are being advised that maybe you are too opinionated, or maybe you have or you're not speaking up enough, whatever those things are, you actually need to act on it in order for the change to be made. So listen to what your team member is telling you, listen to what others are telling you, and maybe analyze your own actions a little bit and take steps from there to make sure that you are acting in a different way, which will benefit people and also benefit yourself. When you're able to be an ally to someone, regardless of gender, regardless of ability, regardless of all the other things, you will, I've forgotten where I was going with that. Anyway, you'll be more successful overall, and things will be more harmonious and happy.
Absolutely.
As a result.
Acting on it doesn't necessarily mean you'll be comfortable with it. But
getting outside your comfort zone is,
you've got to give it a go.
Yeah, you do. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about our program. So here we have our 4 programs. We have InvincAble, Motivate, Wi-Fire, Stoke Your Why with Fire, which is Adam's baby, Live InvincAble, which is my baby. We have InvincAble AIDE, which is Access, Inclusion, Diversity and Education. And we're going to tell you a little bit about these programs now. If you want more information, visit www.invincable.co for all the details. But hold on whilst we tell you a bit about our programs, because we've got some great deals for you here today. This is our InvincAble Motivate program. This is clearly our motivation program based on our own lived experience and how we have gone about discovering our why, discovering our passion, our purpose, becoming more resilient, embracing our challenges, goal setting, and we've got some really fantastic tools within this program to really help you remain motivated and step towards a life that you've always wanted, and not be bogged down by some of the shit that you've
always having a reason to be motivated towards what you do.
Exactly. And this program is really our big daddy of programs. We've had a lot of success with this, and we really want to try and help you to foster motivation so that you can have success in your life too. And here we have our Wi-Fi program. This is Adam's little baby.
So Wi-Fi is all about helping you discover your why. So your passion, your purpose, your reason for existence. It's the stuff that when you think about and when you're doing it, makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. And so talking about using that for the rest of your life to push you forward and live your best life.
So it's about using your intrinsic motivators to discover your why and fuel your fire, as it says here at the top of the poster. But it goes beyond just discovering your why. It's about stoking that why with fire, getting those flames going and keeping that fire burning.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so my program, Live InvincAble, this is mostly a resilience program. We talk about understanding what you've been through, adapting to the changes in your life and embracing them so that you can go out and really achieve the life of your dreams. And we talk about getting outside your comfort zone, because getting outside your comfort zone is probably one of the most important things you can do in order to really lead an invincible life, to just get out and live the life that you've always wanted, regardless of the shit that you've been through, because we've all been through challenges, we've all had adversity, but it's how you choose to deal with them that will actually decide what your future will be. Mm-hmm. So after this, we have our InvincAble AIDE program, AIDE standing for Access, Inclusion, Diversity and Education. As the name says, it is basically all about accessible inclusion, diversity and education. It's a course that we talk about the different types of disability and how people can work with different people with different types of disability effectively. And it's about self-reflection and understanding your own points of view on disability and inclusion, and having a greater understanding of the community around you, feeling empowered and able to be an ally to the disabled community, because I think there's a lot of fear that surrounds disability. 100%. People worried about doing the wrong thing, saying the wrong thing because of political correctness. And we're trying to, I guess, demystify it. It's not that hard. Yeah, it's not, guys. And this is a really, really great course if you're the kind of person that wants to be an ally but doesn't know how. Yeah. Okay, that was all. That was all 4 programs. So today, guys, the first person to book the InvincAble workshop bundle. First 5 people to book the InvincAble workshop bundle will receive 4 3 30-minute one-on-one mentoring sessions. So guys, on top of the offer that we just gave you for the free mentoring sessions, don't forget that other people won't have access to that. So get on here and order as quickly as you can. We're offering all 4 of our InvincAble workshops as a bundle. This would usually cost you $595 if you're paying our offer price. So we're doing these workshops at a discounted price right now. So usually it would be over $800 for you to book all 4 of these. So today we're slashing all 4 to $395 for you lovely people that are joining us. That's if you want to take the face-to-face version or the virtual version, in which you'll get all the same materials, all the same access to information, which includes all 4 of the Invincible workshops, all 4 of our workbooks, access to all 4 private Facebook groups, and basically the opportunity to change your life. If you are interested in joining our upcoming events, the link is down at the bottom of the page right now, so please feel free to screenshot or take a photo. Or if you're interested and don't have the ability to do that right now, just send us a message and we will forward you the information. The code to book this will be 443 bundle, which is down at the bottom of the left-hand side of the screen right now. So we'd love to have you along to join us. Like we said, the events are being running at hybrid at the moment because of COVID. It means that we can still run events for anybody wanting to join us face-to-face or online. You will get the same experience. There will be no differences. And apart from the fact that obviously your ability to be in the room with us will be slightly different, but it also means if you're over the other side of the country or the other side of the world even, you can take part. All of our workshops are 5 hours long, and so we'd love to have you there. So thanks for joining us today, guys. It's been fantastic having you along to join us. We hope to see you at some of our future events. If not now, keep an eye on the website invincable.co, because we would love to have you join us in future. So thanks today, and we will speak to you again, wonderful people. Thanks very much.